Leo, there is a whisper in the universe that only those attuned to its ancient frequency can hear, and right now, it is calling your name. Somewhere between the heartbeat of the cosmos and the breath of the earth lies a prophecy that was woven for you long before your first sunrise. It is not written in ink or carved in stone, but etched in the golden light that pulses from your spirit. The stars have been moving in a rare alignment, shifting into patterns that have not been seen for lifetimes, and within this celestial dance lies the key to a change that will redefine you. You have always felt it, haven't you? That quiet knowing that your story is not one of ordinary paths or simple endings, but of battles fought in silence, of transformations born in fire, and of a crown that is both a gift and a burden. For too long, you have been standing at the edge of your own becoming, feeling the pull of something greater, yet not knowing when the moment would arrive. Now the air feels different, thicker with possibility, electric with fate. It is as though time itself is folding, bringing pieces of your past, present and future into a single, undeniable truth. You are being prepared, Leo, for a revelation that will not simply change your life, but awaken a part of you that has been sleeping beneath layers of doubt and distraction. Your dreams may have been more vivid lately, flashes of golden light, shadows stretching like living smoke, the distant sound of drums, or the roar of a lion that is not from this world. These are not random images, they are fragments of the prophecy, making their way to your waking mind. The tarot shows the high priestess standing beside the sun, her veil thin enough now for you to see the outlines of what has been hidden. This combination is rare, and it tells of a moment when deep intuition merges with radiant action, when knowing and doing become one seamless movement. But such awakenings do not come without challenge. The energy around you has grown more intense, and with intensity comes resistance. The universe does not test you to break you, but to ensure you are ready for what you are about to receive. There may be those who question your path, who try to draw you back into the safety of smaller dreams. Do not let them. You are not here to live quietly. You are here to roar so loudly that the very stars remember your name. Still, you must walk carefully in these days. The same light that calls blessings also attracts shadows. There will be people who are drawn to your fire, not to warm themselves, but to control it, to mold it into something that serves them. They will come cloaked in charm, in promises, in the guise of understanding. Your task is to see through the mask, to feel the truth in their energy before their words can weave illusions around you. The prophecy speaks of a meeting, an encounter that will feel both fated and strange, as though you are remembering rather than discovering. This person will not come to save you, for you do not need saving. Instead, they will arrive as a catalyst, someone whose presence will ignite a chain of events that shifts your trajectory. They may bring you a message, an opportunity, or simply a moment of clarity so profound that it feels like a lightning strike through the soul. Pay attention to the signs. The universe will not shout. It will speak in the flicker of a candle flame when no wind stirs, in the sudden appearance of a lion's image where you least expect it, in the feeling that you are being guided by something unseen yet benevolent. The colors gold and indigo will hold power for you now, amplifying your intuition and shielding you from the envy that your light inevitably inspires. And when the moment comes, and it will, you will know it by the way your heart quickens, by the way the world around you seems to hold its breath. It will not be a grand explosion, but a subtle shift that changes everything, like the turning of a key in a lock that has waited lifetimes to open. When it happens, step forward without hesitation, for in that instant, you will not simply be living your life, you will be stepping into the prophecy that has been waiting for you since the first star in the universe began to burn. The path ahead is long and winding, filled with both shadow and light, and though you may not see its end from here, know that you were made for this journey. Your courage, your passion, your unshakable will, these are not accidents. They are the tools you will carry into the unknown. And as you walk forward, the stars will shift once more, revealing the next part of the prophecy. But Leo, even as the stars conspire to reveal what has long been concealed, there is a warning etched in the currents of cosmic energy. Not all truths are meant to be uncovered at once. Some must be earned, piece by piece, like fragments of a mirror you find scattered along your path. Each reflection will show you a different version of yourself. Some you will embrace, others you will struggle to accept, yet all are necessary for the prophecy to unfold in its entirety. Your heart, the true compass of your journey, will begin to feel the weight of choices you have yet to make. A whisper will rise within you, asking if you are prepared to step fully into your own fire, because once you do, there will be no turning back. The old life, with its familiar patterns and safe illusions, will dissolve like mist under the morning sun. You will stand in the raw, untamed truth of who you are, and that truth will demand both your vulnerability and your strength. In the nights to come, your dreams will grow even more vivid, almost tactile. You may feel the warmth of sunlight on your skin in the darkness, or the weight of unseen eyes watching from beyond the veil. You might hear a name repeated softly, over and over, until you wake with the taste of destiny on your tongue. These are not coincidences, they are invitations. The question is, will you answer? Somewhere ahead lies a threshold cloaked in shadow. You will not see it until you are close enough to feel the air change, until a sudden stillness wraps around you like a breath held by the universe itself. On the other side is the revelation that has been circling your energy for lifetimes, waiting for the moment you were ready to bear its power. But be warned, Leo, what waits there will not simply confirm what you already believe. It will challenge you, bend you, perhaps even break you, only to rebuild you into the version of yourself you were always meant to be. The prophecy does not promise ease, it promises truth, and truth, while liberating, can burn hotter than any fire you have known. The High Priestess still stands in the cards, her gaze locked with yours, the veil fluttering as though caught between worlds. Behind her, the sun glows brighter, almost blinding, as if urging you forward. Yet between them lies a shadow, an unspoken question, a test not yet revealed. You may think you have time, but the signs say otherwise. The alignment forming above is rare, fleeting. The window will not stay open forever. If you hesitate too long, the path may fade, and the prophecy will retreat once more into the silence of the cosmos, waiting for another lifetime to awaken. So you must decide, will you step into the fire and claim what is yours, or will you let the moment pass, leaving the question unanswered? And somewhere, in the quiet between heartbeats, the universe leans closer, waiting to see which way you will turn. Leo, the wind shifts and carries with it an ancient scent, something like incense burned in a temple that has been forgotten for centuries. It clings to your senses, stirring memories you cannot fully place, visions of golden halls bathed in eternal light, of roaring crowds, of a crown that fits your head as though it has always been yours. These visions are not simply dreams, they are fragments of who you have been before this life, woven into the fabric of your soul like threads of fire. The stars whisper that you have walked this path many times, each cycle refining your strength, sharpening your will, until now, when the prophecy aligns with your heartbeat. The moon in your chart begins to glow in strange ways, casting long shadows that stretch toward you as if carrying messages. You will feel them before you understand them, a sudden shiver in a warm room, the sensation of standing at the edge of a precipice you cannot see. These are omens, quiet signals that the unseen world is drawing closer. There is no reason to fear them, but there is every reason to respect them, for their arrival marks the thinning of the veil between realms. You may notice that people around you begin to change. Some will look at you as if they've just remembered something important, though they can't explain what. Others will avoid your gaze entirely, unsettled by the light you carry without realizing. This is the effect of your aura strengthening, Leo. It shines brighter when the sun, your ruling star, channels its energy directly into your spirit. And when that happens, both allies and adversaries will reveal themselves. The High Priestess remains a constant figure in this unfolding, her hands holding keys you have not yet earned. She will not hand them to you easily. Each must be claimed through choices that test the boundaries of your courage. At times you will feel as though you are walking blind through the labyrinth of your own soul, every step echoing against unseen walls. Yet you must keep moving, for to stop is to let the shadows catch up. There will come a night when you feel pulled to leave your home without knowing why. The streets will feel different, lit not only by the glow of lamps, but by something deeper, an undercurrent of energy moving through the air. You may find yourself drawn to a specific place, a crossroads, a doorway, a quiet park where the air hums with expectancy. There you might meet a stranger whose words strike directly at your soul, or you may simply stand in silence, feeling as though you are being watched by something vast and ancient. This will be one of the turning points, though you will only realize its full meaning later. Your dreams will intensify. You may see symbols, a lion standing between two burning pillars, a crown floating in water, an hourglass filled not with sand but with light. These are pieces of the puzzle, clues left by the universe for you to gather. Do not dismiss them. Keep them close, for when the moment comes, they will fit together and show you the map you need. The challenge is not in recognizing the signs, Leo. It is in trusting them, even when logic demands otherwise. The path of the heart is rarely the path of certainty. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when you question whether the energy you feel is real or simply your imagination. Those are the days you must listen most closely, for it is in the quiet between questions that the truth is often whispered. A great alignment is coming, one that will not pass this way again for decades. When it arrives, you will feel it as surely as you feel your own pulse, an electric charge in the air, a rhythm that seems to sync with your breath. Doors, both literal and unseen, will open. The people who enter your life during this time will be catalysts, each playing a role in your transformation, whether through love, challenge, or betrayal. And there, in the center of this cosmic storm, you will find yourself standing before a choice that will define not only the rest of this life, but the ripples that carry into the next. The choice will not be obvious, it will hide behind what appears to be ordinary, but your soul will know. The cards are turning now, revealing not a final image, but a shifting one. The tower and the sun appearing together, destruction and illumination side by side. This is the paradox of your journey, Leo. The same fire that warms you will also test you, burning away what you have outgrown, and as the smoke clears, you will see a path you could not see before. The prophecy does not end here. In truth, it may only just be beginning, for beyond the horizon, there is movement, shapes in the mist, voices calling your name in languages older than the stars. You feel the pull, but you do not yet know where it leads. All you know is that the moment is coming when you will have to step forward, even if you cannot see the ground beneath your feet. And somewhere, deep in the golden heart of the cosmos, something watches, waiting for the exact moment you are ready to claim what has always been yours. The sky was no longer just a canvas of stars, it had become a living map. Each constellation seemed to shift, aligning in ways that defied the patterns you had known all your life. The lion, your celestial reflection, pulsed with a golden light that beat in time with your own heart. You felt it deep in your chest, as though the universe itself was breathing through you. The ground beneath your feet hummed, not with sound, but with pure vibration, each wave urging you forward toward the threshold you had sensed for so long, but never fully understood. A figure emerged from the shadows, cloaked in deep crimson, their face hidden beneath a hood. In one hand, they held a staff carved with symbols older than the first spoken word. In the other, a small mirror framed in gold. Without speaking, they extended the mirror toward you. At first, you saw only your own reflection, but slowly, shapes began to emerge behind your image. Places you had never been, yet knew intimately. A vast desert under 3 moons, a golden gate that opened into a city of light. A dark forest where the trees bent toward you as though whispering secrets. The cloaked figure finally spoke, their voice layered as if multiple beings were speaking at once. You have been called here many times before. Each life you reach this point, and each life the choice you make echoes through eternity. This is not a place of answers, Leo, it is a place of becoming. As they stepped back, the world around you seemed to bend and fold. The air thickened, glowing threads of light stretching between the stars above and the earth below. You realized you were standing at the center of an ancient seal, a massive circle inscribed with symbols that burned softly, as if alive. The energy here was unlike anything you had ever felt. It was both intoxicating and overwhelming, pulling you deeper into its current. Then you heard it, a roar, not from your throat, but from somewhere beyond the veil. It shook the air, rattled your bones, and made the circle of light flare brighter. The sound was both a warning and a summons. The moment you stepped beyond this boundary, everything would change. The path you had known would dissolve, replaced by one carved in fire and shadow. But something in you, something older than fear, was ready. You felt the sun's energy surge into you, flooding your veins with molten gold. Your heartbeat steadied, your breathing slowed, and the visions became clearer. You saw the faces of those who would walk with you in the coming trials, allies you had yet to meet but already trusted. You saw glimpses of trials that would demand more than strength, they would demand surrender. The horizon began to split open, not like a sunrise, but like reality itself was peeling away. Beyond it was not darkness, but a swirling ocean of light, shifting and alive, filled with voices calling your name in tones that resonated with every cell in your body. The cloaked figure's voice returned, softer now, almost tender. Once you cross, there will be no way back. You will not remember all that you are until the moment requires it. But know this, every step, every choice, every heartbeat will shape more than your fate. It will shape the fate of worlds. You stepped forward, the circle's light wrapping around you like a living flame. The air grew heavy, the roar sounded again, closer this time, and impossibly vast. And just before your foot touched the place where the seal ended and the unknown began, you felt it. A presence, vast and ancient, opening its eyes to look directly at you. The air trembled, the light bent, the threshold awaited. Then, in the space between one breath and the next, the threshold dissolved. The world you had known, its familiar weight, its predictable edges, fell away like ash in the wind. You were suspended in a place without time, where the very fabric of existence shimmered and shifted as if woven from liquid light. There was no up or down, no distance, only an endless expanse of color and sound, each hue pulsing in rhythm with your heartbeat. A shadow passed through the light, not of darkness, but of something too vast to be contained within your senses. It moved like the memory of a storm, carrying with it the scent of rain and the metallic tang of lightning. Your instincts told you to be still, to listen, for this presence was not here to harm, but neither was it here to comfort. It was here to awaken. A great lion emerged from the shifting radiance, its mane a burning corona of solar fire. Its eyes were twin stars, impossibly ancient, holding within them the births and deaths of galaxies. It did not speak in words, yet you heard it as clearly as your own thoughts. You are not here by chance. You are the echo of a promise made before the first dawn. You carry the key to a door that no one remembers exists. The vision of the lion filled you, not as an image, but as a force. You felt your skin hum with power, every cell vibrating with the same frequency as the stars above. Memories you had never lived surged through you, walking under alien suns, speaking languages that tasted like honey and smoke, standing at the heart of battles fought with both sword and spirit. And then you saw it, a corridor of light, stretching endlessly, its walls etched with symbols that shifted every time you tried to focus on them. Somewhere far down its length, a pulse of energy called to you, drawing you forward. But the lion remained still, watching, waiting. You realized this was not an invitation, it was a test. To move forward, you would have to leave something behind, not an object, but a truth you had carried all your life. Something heavy, something that had kept you safe, but small. The air grew dense, shimmering with possibility. Around you, faint whispers began to weave together into a single, resonant tone, vibrating in your bones. The lion's gaze pierced you, its voice thundering in the silence. Choose now, or be bound to the path you have already walked. Your heart pounded. You could feel the moment stretching, teetering at the edge of change. The corridor waited, the lion watched, and the unseen presence behind it all leaned closer, holding its breath as if the cosmos itself was about to shift. You took a step forward, and the world, if it could still be called a world, exploded into motion. Light spiraled around you, currents of sound lifting you upward and outward. Somewhere beyond the blaze, shapes began to form, an archway carved from starlight, a river of molten silver, a sky filled with wings that shimmered like crystal. The corridor's pulse grew stronger, pulling at the deepest parts of you, the parts that knew this was not the first time you had walked here. And just as your hand reached out to touch the archway, a voice so close it was as if it spoke from within your own heartbeat, whispered a single phrase. "This is only the first door." The light swelled, the lion roared once more, and the sound became a wind that swept you forward into a place you could not yet name. The wind did not push, it carried, as if the very breath of creation had taken you into its current. The archway swallowed you whole, and for an instant there was nothing, no color, no sound, no weight. Then, like a tide rushing back in, sensation flooded you. You stood in a place that felt both infinite and intimate, a world woven from twilight. The sky above was not a single shade, but a vast, shifting tapestry of violet, gold, and deep indigo, each color flowing like liquid silk. A river wound its way through the landscape, its waters luminous and slow-moving, as though it carried not water, but distilled moonlight. The air shimmered with the hum of unseen voices, singing notes that made your chest ache with recognition. The lion was gone, but you sensed it still, its essence imprinted into the pulse of this place. In its absence, another presence emerged, a figure draped in robes of shadow and starlight, their face hidden behind a mask carved from obsidian. They did not walk toward you. Instead, the space between you simply folded, and suddenly they were there. "Leo," the voice said, and though it was quiet, it struck through you like a bell. "You have opened the first door, but you have not yet crossed the threshold." Your lips parted to speak, but no words came. You realized that language here was unnecessary, thought was enough. Still, the figure's presence was so vast that it pressed against your mind, testing your courage. With a tilt of their head, they lifted a hand, revealing a tarot card floating in the air between you. It was the Strength card, but not as you had seen it before. The woman and the lion were one being, their bodies merged, eyes burning with a single will. The infinity symbol above their head was no longer a sign, it was alive, looping endlessly in a dance of golden light. "This is not a world of prophecy," the figure said. "It is a world of mirrors. What you see will not be your future, but the reflection of the truths you have refused to face." The ground beneath your feet shifted. You looked down and saw that the soil had become glass, and within its depth, countless versions of yourself stared upward. Some were triumphant, others broken, some unrecognizable, but all of them were you. Their eyes followed you, not pleading but waiting. The figure gestured toward the river of moonlight. "To continue, you must drink, but know this, what you drink will not quench your thirst, it will reveal it." The hum in the air deepened, resonating with the pounding of your heart. You approached the river, kneeling at its edge. The water's glow painted your hands in silver, and when you cupped it, the liquid felt weightless, as though it might vanish before reaching your lips. You drank. The moment the moonlight touched your tongue, your vision split. The twilight world remained around you, but layered over it was another reality. Darker, heavier. You saw the threads of your life stretching back through every choice, every unspoken fear, every moment you turned away from your own power. The sensation was overwhelming, like standing beneath a waterfall of memories. You gasped and fell back, the dual visions colliding into one. The masked figure stood over you, their presence unshaken. "Now," they said, "you are ready to see what hunts you." In the distance, the horizon fractured, and something began to emerge from the rift. It was vast, its form constantly shifting, at times a serpent of smoke, at times a shadowed hand reaching across the sky. Its eyes glowed with the cold fire of stars long dead, and as it moved, the air tasted of iron and storms. You knew without knowing how that this was not an enemy in the ordinary sense. It was a part of you, drawn from the same place as the lion, but twisted, incomplete, and it was coming closer. The figure's voice lowered, almost a whisper. "When it reaches you, you will have one chance to decide whether to face it or to run. But remember, the door you opened cannot be closed." The air thickened, the ground trembled. The shadow beast's approach was no longer slow, it was inevitable. Somewhere deep inside, the roar of the lion stirred again, urging you to rise, to stand your ground. You took a step forward, and the world around you began to dissolve into pure light once more, carrying you toward whatever waited beyond the second door. The light did not blind you, it embraced you, folding you into itself like the ocean swallowing a single drop of rain. In that weightless glow, you felt your heartbeat slow until it matched some vast hidden rhythm, as though the universe itself was breathing with you. Then, without warning, the light shattered. You were standing in a place unlike any you had ever imagined. The second door had led you into a realm suspended between night and dawn, where the sky was neither dark nor bright, but a deep liquid gold. Towering pillars of crystal rose from the ground, each one humming with a different tone, their combined resonance forming a symphony that you felt more than heard. The air was alive with energy. Each breath you took seemed to feed the fire in your chest. Before you, the lion had returned. But it was changed. Its mane blazed like the corona of the sun, strands of light rippling as though they were alive. Its eyes no longer glowed with the steady warmth of guardianship, they burned with the challenge of a warrior testing your resolve. It stepped aside, and behind it, the masked figure from before appeared, holding something wrapped in black cloth. "This is the mirror of the sun," the figure said, their voice carrying a weight that pressed into your bones. "It will not show your face as it is. It will show the face you are becoming." They unwrapped the mirror, and the moment your reflection emerged, your breath caught. It was you, but the lines of your face were sharper, your eyes deeper, your presence almost impossible to look at directly. The air around this version of you shimmered as though it bent to your will. And yet, within that power, there was a shadow, a mark you did not recognize, faint but unyielding. The masked figure watched you closely. Every Leo carries the sun within them. But the sun can warm or it can burn. What will you choose to become? Before you could answer, the sound of the approaching beast from the first door returned. Its roar echoed through the golden sky, and from the horizon you saw it again, larger now, more defined, its form coiling like a storm gathering strength. You could feel its hunger. It was drawn to the power in your reflection. The lion stepped forward, planting itself between you and the beast, its mane flaring brighter. But you felt, deep in your core, that this was not its battle to fight. It was yours. The mirror in your hands grew heavy, as though demanding you make a choice. The golden sky trembled, the pillars of crystal began to crack, shards of light spinning into the air. And then, silence. The beast stopped at the very edge of the realm, its body undulating like smoke over a fire. Its eyes locked on yours, and in them, you saw not just menace but recognition. It did not lunge, it waited. The masked figure leaned closer. To step through the third door, you must understand what it is you see before you. This is not your enemy, it is your unclaimed self. You may banish it, or you may claim it. The lion's eyes flickered to you, as if urging a decision. The beast began to take form, its features shaping into something eerily familiar. The ground beneath your feet pulsed with light, ready to open into the path beyond. Your hands tightened around the mirror of the sun. The choice pressed against your mind, sharp and heavy. The sky darkened, the golden glow fading into a deep burning orange. Somewhere far ahead, the third door began to open just a crack, spilling out a wind that carried whispers you couldn't yet understand. You took a step forward, and the realm began to bend. The third door waited. The beast waited, and so did the part of yourself you had never dared to face. Then, just as your breath found its rhythm again, the wind from the third door surged, carrying a scent you could not place, half fire, half something impossibly sweet, like the memory of a dream you were never meant to wake from. The beast's shape wavered, flickering between shadow and flame, and in that heartbeat you saw it wearing your face, but not your eyes. The lion growled low, not in warning, but in recognition, as though some silent truth had been revealed to it before you could see it yourself. The masked figure tilted their head, the corners of their hidden mouth curving ever so slightly, as if they already knew which choice you would make. The third door creaked wider, spilling an amber light that seemed to pull at your very bones. Somewhere beyond, you swore you heard a voice calling, not in words, but in the language of the soul, a vibration that spoke of both promise and peril. Your heart pounded, caught between the ache to step forward and the dread of what waited. The beast's gaze locked with yours one last time. In its eyes you caught a glimmer, something ancient, something that felt like home, and yet like a warning. The light around you dimmed to a single trembling thread. And just as you took that final step toward the threshold, everything went black. The wind stopped, and a whisper, impossibly close to your ear, breathed, "Tomorrow you will see what you've truly called to yourself."